Hey guys, this is Goy Jr. Plus, just like Goy Jr., but I'm always adding on more. I think that's really corny. I don't know if I should stick with that, but we'll see. Sometimes you just stick on, right? But yeah, here's the college football top 10. Instead of doing a championship game review, I'm going to do a college football review because honestly, most of the championship games, except for like one, went exactly how he expected, which was the one that didn't go how I expected, was Alabama, Georgia. But yeah, there's a big playoff controversy right now because, well, Florida State got left out of the playoffs. They're the first ever 13-0 Power 5 conference champions to be left out of the playoffs. It's insane, really. It's hard. It was really hard. This should have been the year that the 12 playoff. Well, it feels like it should have been the year where the 12-team playoff should have been open. But then Oklahoma will have been let in, and Mississippi and Missouri, but whatever. The main point here is there is 7 teams here, the top 7, that I feel like deserve to make the playoffs despite losing. All these teams' only losses were at least like by 2 scores. These 7 are Ohio State, Georgia, Florida State, Alabama, Texas, Washington, and Michigan. It really does feel like Florida State got robbed. Now, I don't like Florida State, but the fact is, if I was a 13-0 Power 5 champion, and 2 teams that had nothing to do with me, didn't beat me, have a worse record than me, got in, I would be livid. But as a Georgia fan, that is what happens, that we just lost our most important game of the season. But as a Florida State fan, I could not be madder at what just happened. Because there's 2 13-0 Power 5 teams that are 1-2, and for some reason, this Power 5 team, which is a conference champion, 13-0, is 5. But there's 2 12-1 teams that are 3-4. Now, it's obvious what the college football players were thinking. They're thinking, well, we want Alabama in. And if we want to keep Alabama, we have to put Texas in because Texas beat Alabama. They have the same record. They're both champions. So, yeah, what they did was, the fan base that would be the least mad if we leave them out is Florida State, or the least relevant. If Alabama was left out, of course, we would be killing college football playoff and saying, especially Paul Feinbaum, he would be very mad if the SEC missed the playoff. Texas literally could not be kept out of the playoffs if Alabama was in, so that's also a non-option. The only thing they could do was use the fact that Florida State's been barely winning games and also has their top quarterback injured as an excuse not to put them in the playoffs, and I don't agree with it. I personally think the playoffs should have been 1 Michigan, 2 Washington, 3 Florida State, and 4. It's hard. It's really hard. But the thing is that since there's no criteria, it's not the best 4 teams. My bad. It's not the best 4 teams. If it was the best 4 teams, it would probably be Washington, Michigan, and a mixture of Alabama, Georgia, and Texas. It would probably end up being Alabama and Georgia. But it's not that. It's usually the best records, which would make it Michigan, Washington, Florida State, and Texas, since they beat Alabama, who beat Georgia. But neither of those ended up happening. It was a mixture of the 2, which creates even more confusion for every single party. And that's why not only do we need a 12-team playoff, which I would prefer 8, because I feel like after you get past 8, these teams are just obviously worse than everything ahead of them. But not only should there be a 12-team playoff, there should be way more strict rule set, especially considering the fact that we will not be having just 4 teams. There's going to be 12 teams. There's going to be a ton of 2 and 3 lost teams fighting for that spot. There's going to need to be some sort of criteria, I feel, other than who do we just feel is the best mixed with what games they lost. There should be a better criteria to that. I don't know what it should be yet. It will be very confusing to get through, but I think I'll just make college football a better sport. I know the voting makes it feel fresh. That's fine. The AP poll can do that. But the college football playoffs need more specific criteria because stuff like Florida State being kicked out of the playoffs despite doing everything right besides having an injured quarterback is just not okay. Now, I don't think they would win a game anyway. Now they're going against Georgia in the Orange Bowl. I know gotten blown by any of these 4 teams. But TCU got in. You could have just took out TCU, put in Tennessee, not Ohio State. TCU Alabama or Tennessee. But they didn't do that. Why are they doing that this year? We can't have 2 years in a row without Alabama being in the playoffs. It's just bad. It was just a bad choice. But there wasn't really a good choice. None of these combinations would have made everybody happy. There's no consensus. But the AP poll had Florida State in. I'm pretty sure Alabama out. So I hope I can actually check. This is the AP poll. Yeah, Alabama's out. This is what I kind of expected the playoffs to look like. Didn't end up being that way. But hey, what do you guys think about the playoffs? Do y'all think they made the right choice? Do you think there was a right choice? Drop it in the comments below. Just wanted to make a pretty short video about this and my thoughts. Make sure to always add more. I hope I always add on more to your day. See you.